Have to get that kid gram out. Adam, can you get me more paper towels? This one's no good.
Got it.
Man, Adam! Hey, Adam, wake up! Hey, wake up, buddy! Hey, wake up! Wake up! Hey, come on! I don't know CPR! Come on! Hey, stay away from the light, buddy! Stay away from the light! Come back to me! Hey, wake up! Come on! Adam?
All this for some paper towels.
What? What the fuck? How is this happening?
Don't question the Force, Mr. Bravo.
How does this even work? Are you a Force ghost?
I don't know, man. Clearly I didn't write this script. There's no Force ghosts in Andor. Who dies from a headbutt? Clearly we're running out of ideas here.
Look, man, I don't have time for this or the mindset. Could you please just get back in your fucking body?
This is awkward, but I can't do that while you're looking at me. What happened?
Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, at Undercity Comics. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 116. My name is Renee.
This is Brian.
I'm Nick.
And welcome to the show, everyone. That was funny.
Woo!
That was good. Yeah.
Nick! Welcome back to the show, buddy.
Thanks,
Doing
man.
different.
Thanks. Feels really good to be here. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
He's actually he's crashing in there. Look, the audio.
Yeah.
The way-
Yeah.
the way
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Maybe it's this mic.
That would be his levels, yeah.
Wow.
Maybe it's the mic.
Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes Nick talks way too close to the mic and it's like super loud. Other times it's like super far away. And it's like, Nick, get close to the mic. Adam, thank you so much for joining the show today,
Thank you
dude.
for filling in for Nick.
Thank
as
you
he
for having me on.
recuperates.
Yeah, he unfortunately recorded last week, did well, then died the next day. He's
Damn.
doing well, though.
That's
doing
two members of Keeping Up with the Nerds that have died this year.
Wait, what was the first one?
I think it was
Renee?
me. Because I got COVID.
Oh, that's right.
Should we tell what happened to Nick, or should we do it?
I mean, he got sick. That's all it is. He's doing well. It's fine. He's not dead.
No.
No, he's doing fine. He's just being.
He just needs some time to
He's being a little baby. He's taking home rest and whatnot. But he'll be back next
like
week.
Goblin Jr.
Yeah. Guys, welcome back to Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 116.
Yeah.
Don't forget, if you're listening to us on the audio version of this podcast, head over to YouTube at Keeping Up with the Nerds so you guys can see us visually in the video portion of that podcast. Also on there, Our Real Addiction, Adam's movie podcast with Miguel. Those go up every Thursday at 11.
Yeah.
Every Thursday.
For the
At
most
11.
part. For the most.
You got to get on schedule.
Just need to double check your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursdays at 11. They go up.
We
Wednesdays
re-released.
at 11:30.
We did a re-release. We were trying to get more views.
Wait,
on
Jay,
the
you
video.
like James Cameron right now?
Do it, dude. Follow our socials at Keeping Up with the Nerds on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Our Real Addiction also on Twitter and Instagram. No Facebook.
We have a Facebook, very inactive.
Okay, so just
Yeah.
Instagram and Twitter. And then go check out our website at keepingupwiththenerd.com. It hasn't been updated in quite a while because we've been busy, but it'll be up there soon enough. Thank you guys for all the support. 126 subs on YouTube. Wow. Which is good. 219 followers on Instagram. We're growing.
So we're averaging out reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know, guys, down below in the comment sections if you guys are watching us, or email us or comment on their posts on Instagram or anywhere. Let us know what you guys think.
Let us know if you guys like the skits, because we keep doing them because no one said anything. So like,
Any
people like 'em.
feedback.
yeah.
People
Any
like them. I've gotten
feedback.
some good feedback.
Yeah.
I've gotten some good feedback on some of them, so they're pretty good. The anime one has been so far my favorite.
Yeah, you know what? I personally like
Pretty
that
freaking
one.
great.
Yeah, issue 115.
But it's funny how the one with me twerking, that's the one that did pretty well. I was
Hey,
like,
man, you know what? Sex sells, dude.
yeah, it does.
Sex sells.
But I love
Segs.
Segs.
the
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude,
Segs.
come on, man.
Segs.
We can
Segs,
get
that's right.
blacklisted.
But I love the edit on the anime bit. Yeah. that
Oh,
was
the
good.
whole anime.
I
yeah.
love that
It
whole
was
edit
good.
you did.
It's
yeah.
hard work, but I hope that people that actually watch it enjoy it. And if
Yeah.
they don't, let us know.
Sure they will.
We'll take any form of criticism.
The right people will appreciate it.
Thank you. That's a good
Yeah.
way of looking
Unless
at
it's
it.
about you getting annoyed by how we eat and talk on the podcast. I won't stand for that.
That's it.
That's
Let
it.
me be.
There's
let me
my
be me.
line.
Let me be me.
Because you're not letting me be me, which is a big boy, you know?
Guys, we've got a good show today.
Yes.
We've got Andor, the big topic, finally comes out on Disney Plus to 3 episodes, running about an average of 35 to 40 minutes per episode. Right? Big reveal for them right now. We also have got, we'll go kind of lightly on this. Grand Theft Auto 6 got leaked. If you guys are into video games, we'll briefly touch on that. It's not that big of a topic, but it is interesting because Rockstar Games, being Rockstar, has released Grand Theft Auto 5. How many times at this point, Adam?
I think like 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
and still make millions and I think
Whenever a
billions
new
of dollars
console
in-
comes out, it's just like, oh, yeah, here's the
started-
PS7.
Hey, remember that
version.
game that came out when I was still in high school?
Yeah.
It's being
Yeah.
re-released. So 6, you know.
The James Cameron of video games.
Basically. She-Hulk watch as well. But should we start with comic strips first? We got some pretty good ones. So it's back. Ladies and gentlemen, comic strips is back. We didn't talk about it last week because last week was pretty heavy. We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Issue 115 was jam-packed with a lot of stuff. We talked Cyberpunk. We talked about the conventions. We did She-Hulk watch. I forget what other thing we did. It's a great episode. Go check it out, issue 115. But 116, we're back with comic strips. Are we ready to start this?
Go for it.
All right, here we go.
Absolutely.
Who here watches Twitch? No one? Yeah.
People still watch
Yeah.
Twitch?
People still watch Twitch. Twitch announces this week after some good publicity, right? Keep in mind, Twitch had this massive controversy. Streamers were pointing fingers left and right, accusing one another of different things. It's this whole giant mess that was going on. Everyone was fighting, right? Twitch announces they're banning gambling,
Ooh.
right?
Like you can't,
Like you can't gamble.
like
No
games
slots.
that have that on there?
Mhm.
Huh.
But they're allowing, like, you know, loot crates. They're still allowing sports gambling, I believe. Things that are legal here in the States, essentially, is okay
Okay.
for them. But they're banning gambling, which is a massive issue for a lot of people on Twitch because it influenced a lot of the kids, a lot of people that were able to gamble,
Yeah.
caused a lot of problems. Good PR stunt. Days afterwards, probably about a day or two, they come out with something else.
Yeah.
Normally speaking, a streamer gets a revenue of 30%. Streamers get 70% of the sub revenue. Twitch gets 30%. They announced earlier this week that they're going to be changing that starting next June in 2023 to a 50-50 split.
Oh.
So now the big streamers are no longer going to be able to get that 70-30 split that they do with their subs. Keep in mind, some of the big ones end up getting like tens of thousands of subs. At $5 a pop, dude, they're making billions of dollars every single month. They're no longer going to be getting that 70-30 split. Now they're doing 50-50. It's causing a lot of different problems, and most people are assuming that YouTube is going to pay. Basically, they're going to be taking in a lot of streamers within the coming months. So it's interesting. Anything on that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The 70-30, that taking away that from essentially a streamer, I understand, like, they have essentially I don't want to say a quote unquote easy job, but they're sitting there accumulating money.
They are.
Yeah. It's,
I understand. I think after a certain gap or a certain amount of money reached, maybe then it goes to like 50-50.
So I will say this, okay? I'm not a streamer. I can't put in my word on this and say, like, you know what, just suck it up, make revenue somewhere else. These guys are still making revenue off of ads. They're still making revenue off of, like,
Brand
separate
deals,
deals, brand
yeah.
deals, things like that, right? But it does go to show, especially for people like us, right, smaller content creators, that these businesses that we're putting our content on, they're owned by giant corporations that need to make money somehow.
Yeah.
To them, it doesn't matter. If we're not making any money and we're spending hundreds of dollars on equipment and time basically producing this kind of content, we're putting it on their site. They have the right to essentially do whatever it is that they want.
Yeah.
They could even say, like us, right, for Keeping Up with the Nerds, if we get monetized at some point and they say, you know what, you're too small, we're only giving you 20% of what you make, that's their choice.
Yeah.
It only goes to show that these small companies, small content creators like us, we have to think of different revenue sources. That's why you have a lot of content creators pushing their own merches, their own, shirts, their own designs, their own stickers, things like that. We got to be careful for that as well.
Yeah.
Seeing as how we're going to be growing and everything, we have to be aware of
How
all that
we
stuff.
are growing.
Exactly. So it just kind of comes to mind, basically, at any point, things could be taken out. Twitch might not even take this back. They might stick 50-50. They might
be.
write it
That's
out.
true.
Could be. I mean, it's very like we'll see, because remember when like OnlyFans put out the statement like, hey,
Only friends?
OnlyFriends, they
Only
put out
pants.
the statement
Only
like, hey,
Only pants.
OnlyFans, you can't do the X content anymore.
And then all of a sudden
They
kind of
retracted it
Yeah.
because they realized how much money they were going to lose.
Right?
So
Like,
any business will make its moves if they notice that the money drops.
yeah.
And Twitch right now has no direct competitor. Even YouTube Gaming is not a direct competitor right
Not
now.
at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. So
Years behind.
exactly. So
Same thing with like Facebook Live as well too.
Facebook Live's a joke. The only big streamer they have right there that I watch is Z-Laner. He's an Optic gaming creator.
Yeah.
Plays a lot of Call of Duty Warzone, but that's about it. Other than that, I'm not super familiar with Facebook Gaming. I don't even use Facebook as much anymore. That's in the water. Moving on to other things. COD Modern Warfare 2 beta just released this week with somewhat positive reviews. Some negative, some positive. I've seen gameplay of it. As always, every single year, I always look at it and go like, I should probably get the new console because I really want to play Call of Duty. Then I play it for like 2 weeks and that's it.
That's
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of how Call of Duty is. But yeah, it's somewhat-ish positive reviews, kind of. So interesting little bit right there. Cloverfield movie announced. A new Cloverfield movie. It's going to be produced by Abrams, directed by, and I'm sorry if I butcher this name, Babak Anvakri or Ankari. And it's going to be written by Joe Barton.
See, I
Or
don't know.
Burton.
The thing is that the Cloverfield movies moving forward don't feel like they're planned out Cloverfield movies. They feel like they just is a movie that Abrams was able to take and just throw his Cloverfield world on it.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like, was it Cloverfield Lane? Like,
It didn't feel like a Cloverfield movie.
yeah,
Until
It was a
the
good
end.
movie.
until the end.
Until the end, and they teased that monster
Yeah.
that went nowhere.
But even 10
Yeah.
Cloverfield Lane, not 10 Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield Paradox.
Paradox,
Yeah.
yeah.
That one was okay. I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
But it felt like a forced connection because it was really trying to connect to the first part.
That's the thing.
first
Yeah,
movie.
they were trying to like time it.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it happened at the same time like the first movie happened and stuff like that.
The concept of the paradox was really, really good.
Yeah.
Execution wasn't all that great.
Yeah.
If
Especially
they-
the ending where it's like they have like the monster at the end, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why would that monster be that so tall?
Yeah.
It was like puts its head out of the stratosphere and just like,
I want this new Cloverfield movie
Mm-hmm.
to be the way it filmed the original way.
Oh,
very-
found footage?
Found footage.
That'd
Yeah.
be sick. And
Yeah.
I wish they'd do like another point of view of that night.
Yeah.
Would be interesting. Or just a direct sequel. Like what happened after.
Yeah. There's a survivor
Yeah.
or they attack a different part of the world or something like that. Like something interesting because that's the thing is we only know about the New York incident and Paradox
Yeah.
didn't explain anything else besides some weird science fiction crap that at the end didn't make any sense.
Dude, I saw that movie in theaters like 4 or 5 times.
Paradox?
No,
Or
the
10.
original Cloverfield.
Oh, the original Cloverfield?
Yeah, I was in
I
like
remember-
5th grade. My mom was dropping me off to go see that movie.
I saw it once it released on
I think I was in junior high.
DVD or something
Yeah,
like that.
same
It was
here.
like someone had it on like their phone and I watched it then.
Really?
Yeah,
it
I
was-
watched it.
That one and what was it? Paranormal Activity.
Oh,
I couldn't do that one.
I
I
got
was too
forced
young.
into that one.
Oh,
I
really?
was
I
too young
did.
for that.
So my ex was like, "Hey, we should go watch a movie." And she said we were gonna go watch. I forget what other movie was like out that day that she wanted to go watch. But then she's like, "We should watch the second Paranormal Activity." So I was forced into it. Wasn't as bad.
I remember seeing Paranormal Activity because my dad had a buddy at work that would bootleg movies, but the thing was is that apparently in the Paranormal Activity movie release,
Uh huh.
upon like if it was to be leaked, they had 4 different endings.
That's right. I
Yeah.
heard about that.
Yeah, and so I think I
Wow.
got the ending where the girl gets shot by the police.
Yeah.
And we thought that was the real ending. And then I remember I went to, like, years later, I went to a buddy's house. He's like, oh, yeah, I have Paranormal Activity. You want to watch it? I'm like, I haven't seen it in a while and stuff like that. And then it was the one, that was the true ending where it was the DVD release he had. And we watched it, and it was the one where she, like, eats Micah or something
Yeah.
like that. And then,
Hey,
like,
So they had 4 different
There's
endings
4 different
in
endings.
theaters?
yeah. No.
No.
And, like,
Oh.
if it was to get leaked, they were already prepared for, like, they had 4 different movies with 4 different endings.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a complicated bit because you could rip the DVD off a file,
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
essentially,
okay.
and that's what was being released.
Yeah.
Or you can go into a theater and film it,
Yeah.
and that's like a that's like
Yeah.
a try hard bootleg version of it.
Yeah.
But if
So
you ripped it off
back
a
when
file,
that was an actual thing.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. When it came to that, there was only a few set of people that had the true ending,
Uh-huh.
and then below them there was another set of people that had a different ending.
Interesting.
So that way you can track where it got leaked.
yeah,
Wow.
and Paranormal
Yeah.
Activity wasn't that hard of a movie to film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they could do that easily.
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic World Dominion crosses the $1 billion worldwide
I saw that
mark,
actually.
joining the likes of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World,
Mind you, that movie's already available to watch on Peacock.
and Jurassic Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Are you happy, dude? Don't be
why are you
happy. You didn't
happy?
even you didn't even like that movie.
Yeah, man.
What a liar, dude.
What do you mean?
You're going
It was,
like,
hey, it was good.
No, it wasn't.
Good.
I watched a person react.
Was it
To that
dumb?
movie.
Was it a dumb ending? Yes. But was it good?
There
Yes.
was Lotus in the movie.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
But it
That's
was good.
The threat.
Hey, sometimes
That's the threat.
you sacrifice
not the
plot
dinosaurs.
for fan service, and
Not-
this is one of those films.
Not the dinosaurs, but it was Lotus.
And they gave it
that was the huge threat on the world.
true, but they gave us the iconic logo in the film.
Oh my god.
So I'll probably watch this if all those movies are on Peacock.
It's on Peacock.
You
All
haven't
of
seen
them?
it yet?
No, the new one.
Oh.
The new one's on Peacock.
Can you lower his gain real quick? I feel like
It's
it's
a little hot.
A little hot. You're a little hot today, dude.
It's Nick's mic. I'm telling you. It's not me. It's something in the air.
This piece of information was actually brought to us by Adam, coming in with some news. James Earl Jones is officially stepping
Yeah, if
down.
you're wrong, we have to discredit you now.
Yeah, we do. This is coming from you.
Multiple people are.
Okay,
so
I'm just saying that you brought
saying.
this to here. So if people listen to this and they're using this as a reliable source, they got to go to you.
Well, I got a source.
Okay,
I
so
can read
James
from
Earl
it.
Jones is stepping down as the voice of Vader.
No.
In the arms of an angel.
In the arms of James Earl Jones.
Arms of Vader.
There you go.
What arms, dude? They're both robotic.
Here we hug him.
Do you have the source, or should I go
Yeah.
on with the next piece?
Yeah, I can.
what's
So
the
this
source?
is coming from the Disney Insider. They're just who I'm.
Discredited.
Yeah, discreditable.
Okay, fine. Okay. You know,
I'm
I,
kidding.
I can choose one from the next 5 sources if you'd like.
Okay, what's the other one?
All right, let me go back really quick. All right, the comic book report.
Discreditable.
Discredited.
Are you okay? You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to hear all these resources.
All right. Coming from thedirect.com.
Don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know. I have to see the site.
It's a legit site.
It is. Oh, shit, I got a virus.
Oh my god.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that's supposed to be in incognito.
How'd you know?
It's right
Point
there.
is, coming.
Actually, clip that too. So.
Oh my god. Okay,
Hold
we
on,
believe
hold
you.
on.
We believe you. I got to move on because we're hitting that 20-minute mark. All right. A paper published in Nature Astronomy. So this is sciencey stuff that we're reporting. All right.
Actual nerd news.
The actual nerd news explains that the gas composition found in, I'm going to say it this way so that way it's not made fun of, Uranus
Uranus.
has a high concentration of hydrogen
That's how you say
sulfide.
it.
Uranus, yeah. It's not Uranus, it's Uranus.
Dude, we're getting flagged.
They found high compositions or high concentration of hydrogen sulfide. So they kind of know what it smells like.
Didn't they
So
also
basically, Uranus smells like ass.
It does.
That's the joke, everyone. Like, it smells like butt.
Didn't you also see? I think it was Uranus or Neptune that they got a photo of it with its rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
did.
that was
that
cool.
was I think that was Uranus. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an
Uranus.
interesting. That's
Do you remember Bill Nye, that video where he's going through the planets? It's like Uranus, Uranus, Uranus. You know, it was like show.
So Bill Nye apparently has a new show.
It's on
Yeah.
Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like rated M or like TV.
Oh,
MA.
because he's cussing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta watch. It's on
Crazy.
Peacock, not Netflix. Peacock.
It's
Oh,
not
is it
something.
Peacock? Okay.
Yeah. Last piece of information, guys. This is important. I'm talking about really important news. Really, really important news. No. Oh, you say no, but wait until you
Here
hear
we
this.
go.
Okay, this is really important news. I'm not even joking. Flag this. This is the thing that you want to listen to. Look it up when you get the chance. Lego announces the sets they are retiring for 2022.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to care.
Crickets.
All right, so Lego announces which sets are retiring for 2022.
Okay.
This includes the 1989 Batwing, the Seinfeld set, the Friends Central Perk set,
Oh no.
the Disney Castle, the Scout Trooper helmet,
Okay.
the Imperial Probe droid, last but not least, the big daddy of them all, a New Hope Imperial Star Destroyer.
You want to know why they're
What?
retiring those? Because those are like over $150.
The Imperial Star Destroyer, that's $649.99.
I want
Yeah,
the Millennium
those-
Falcon, dude.
That's retired already.
Yeah.
No, you can still buy it on Lego.
You could get you're getting like the Rise of Skywalker one though.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants that.
So keep in mind, it has a plaque. The
Yeah.
Star Destroyer has a plaque on the bottom. This is a New Hope.
Yeah.
So it's built to replicate
After, yeah.
the New Hope ones. Anything else and it won't count.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised the Disney Castle's retiring.
I think Disney's over and
Those
done
are,
with
those
it.
are expensive
Could be.
too. That's the thing. They made those.
People are
$349.99.
They're not
selling-
making any money though. That's the
No.
thing. They're not making.
The one I do want to get is the Friends Central Perk one. I'm a
People
huge
are gonna
Friends
be
fan. So
upset over that.
the Friends one, I don't think so. I think the ones that most people will probably be upset about will be the Imperial Star Destroyer, and probably I don't think the Disney Castle so much because I've never really seen Disney.
I haven't seen a lot of
be
people
a
like
lot of Legos.
want it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mandy wants it ideally.
Star Wars fans are huge Lego fans,
Mm-hmm.
so they make a lot of money in Lego.
I'm more into the
They'll probably be
Batmobiles. The
Huh?
I'm more into the Batmobiles.
yeah.
So the Batwing, that kind of sucks, but again, that was like $300,
In the
$200.
arms of
It's still in
an
stock like
angel.
everywhere you go, though.
Yeah,
It
that's the
is,
thing.
But they're retiring at the end of 2022. Is what I'm
just
saying.
So they're
buy 'em
not
all
mass
so I can
producing, basically.
Sell them on the black market.
But that's the thing is that these already expensive Lego sets are going to go up in price.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
which
Lego.
sucks even more. That's
I
Target
remember-
Target run after this, so we can go buy some Legos retiring or what?
Investments.
Yeah.
Look, if we all split it three ways, right? We get the Imperial Star Destroyer, hold it off for
I didn't
15
even
years.
have money for 3
That
ways
is,
splitting.
dude, we
To be
triple our
honest.
money.
Got a credit card.
Forget crypto, dude. Legos, all right.
Lego.
Legos. The
That's
original
the new
Lego.
crypto in 2023.
That's been the
Heard
crypto,
it
dude.
here
Do you-
first.
you
Lego
were-
currency.
How old are you? You're like
I'm
You're-
25.
You're like 18, dude. remember back in the day? Like, oh my god, dude! Back in the day when we had the Lego
back in the day?
The Lego what?
the Lego magazine.
Do I? Oh,
I'll admit
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're too
Yeah.
young. You don't even know about what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
it's telling
Back
you,
in
like,
the day,
all
we
the
didn't have
different
phones. We had a
pieces.
magazine.
No, yeah, I
That-
understand
yeah,
that. I'm sorry. It's so sad that
We had
old
to go
people
get
had
magazines.
to read
The
magazines.
old
You remember
people,
Mad
shut your
Magazine?
mouth.
Remember Mad Magazine?
I remember
Nintendo
that.
Power?
Remember Spy versus Spy?
Ooh, there you go. Listen, magazines were used for
I
much
remember-
more
I
than
remember,
prawn,
yeah.
all right? It
This
was
is when we also
Prawn.
had video stores.
back when Netflix wasn't a thing and we had.
Do you remember when Netflix was DVDs?
What?
Yeah,
You
who
can still
remembers
no,
that?
you can
No,
still,
nobody.
no,
Yeah.
you can still get DVDs on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah, you can still order. You can still rent DVDs. It's still a feature because you're paying for the service.
Uh huh.
That's still a feature you can use. No one uses it though.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when we rented Boy Meets World on DVD.
Remember when? I don't even know.
Did you ever take back your Netflix DVDs? Did you ever send them back?
I never did it.
You never
I
did
got
it? Oh.
Netflix to stream. That was it.
Okay.
Actually, my dad got Netflix for the first one.
Mm.
To this day, kind of sad. A little sad boy time right now.
Yeah.
His profile is still on my Netflix account.
I haven't gotten rid of it.
I haven't gotten rid of it.
I think for me, it took me like 3 or 4 years to do that for my mom.
Nope, I still have not removed it. It's still there.
I
I changed his email to mine because obviously, but I took over it. But that account was under his name.
Yeah,
And-
for a while, like it was my mom and my dad shared an account. So I asked his permission. I was like, "You want me to change it? Do you want me to just change it to your name?" He's like, "Yeah, I get tired of looking at your mom's name." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." So
Still haven't changed it on my Netflix account.
what about you?
Yeah.
Adam? This is the Dead Parent
don't-
Trio.
This is therapy hour.
This is therapy, guys.
hour.
Like,
What are you talking about? This is the start of the Avengers, dude. Dead Parents Club right here.
Dead
Orphans Club.
this is our
No money,
origin
though.
story. Yeah.
It's fine. It's all good, yeah.
I don't have anything
Our listeners are
like
like,
We can joke about it,
yeah,
right?
we can joke about it.
This is how we. This is
That's
how
how
we
we
cope.
cope. That's how we cope.
We said that in unison. I don't have anything like that. I have text messages and voicemails, but
Oh yeah, we listen to voicemails as well too. My sister still has a few voicemails
Yeah.
she saved. So.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's fun.
Yeah. Frick.
Let's move on to lighter
Yeah.
news. Better news. Up in
I'm
the
so
sky.
sorry. I
October
apologize to our
31st.
listeners. I'm so sorry. Actually,
Lower this down.
like someone's gonna comment saying, "Dang guys."
this is spicy.
Oh my god. All right, moving on. That's the end of comic strips, ladies and gentlemen.
Turned
And on
to
a
sad
great-
strips. It ended with started with comic, ended with sad strips.
Let's move on to Andor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Let's talk about a dead character. I'm sorry, I had to. Someone was listening and being like, they're talking about a dead character after talking about their dead parents.
That's fair.
I don't think they put the two and two together
Yeah.
until you mentioned
Yeah.
it.
Clearly,
I'm
we
always
don't plan
ahead of the
these things
curve.
Oh my god. Move from dead parents now straight into a story of a dead character.
About a dead character.
We'll see him die in Rogue One,
Yeah.
Oh man. So Cassian Andor.
Yeah, so overall, I mean, I will say this. This is my Star Wars hot take. I didn't care for Rogue One. I liked it as a movie. It's a good
How
movie.
stupid could you be?
Pretty stupid to not enjoy the movie at all.
Yeah, it's the best Star Wars movie
In your opinion.
in
But
my factual opinion.
factual opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or in the Disney era.
No.
Ever.
Ever, really.
That's bold.
That is bold.
That's bold.
Very bold.
Listen, okay, I'm not like the type of person to essentially say I'm going to take the last 10 minutes of a movie and make it one of my top 3 favorite moments of Star Wars, all right? I'm going to say Rogue One is
From
my
start to
favorite.
finish.
Yeah, from start to finish,
Yeah.
Rogue
That's
One
fair.
is
That's
the
fair.
best movie.
That is fair.
So would you
Star
say
Wars
you rebel? Like that's what a rebel does, right? I
They
rebel. Best line of the movie, man. That's the best line of the movie.
So I'm going to start by saying this. Look, there's a lot of cheesy lines, but what isn't cheesy about Star Wars?
That's true.
Right? It's all cheesy.
Yeah.
I'm going to start by saying this, okay? Spoiler alerts, if you have not seen Andor, go watch it on Disney Plus. It just came out last week as of the release of this issue. Really great series, about 35 to 40 minutes. Go take your time to watch it.
Yeah.
It actually released the 4th one on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. Yeah, by the
So-
time of this recording, it'll be up already.
Yeah.
The 4th episode.
So, what I'm going to say is this. This is a far, far, far right turn from what the Star Wars series is.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal. I firmly believe this is the best version of Star Wars we will ever get.
So to kind of go off of that, as I said, didn't really care for Rogue One, so I wasn't as hyped up or amped up to see Andor. Or when it got announced, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. They're giving him his own series, which is fine. You want to cash in on your Star Wars
You wanna
characters
yeah.
that you've done.
On Diego Luna is who you want to cash in on.
Yeah, Diego Luna, he is up and coming. He is he's like a fan favorite. So,
Yeah.
which I understand why they would go towards an Andor show. I wasn't really excited for it before watching or when I heard about it. So I was like, okay, cool. That's. But at the same time, I was like, okay, cool.
No
they're
one
giving his own
was.
character. No, they didn't make a big deal out of it. I mean, only Disney was really selling the hell out of this.
Yeah.
I think
Every
the
ad I would see
reason
was about Andor.
for that though is because of how much it got delayed. Because it got delayed
that's
like
true.
2-3 times.
So you got to put it into this kind of perspective as well, is that Andor isn't necessarily a character that's relatable to the main series of Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
He's only relatable to Rogue One. And
Yeah.
Rogue One isn't a fan favorite amongst a lot of different people. Some people actually really love it.
No,
or
I have
they
a lot.
really hate it.
In my circles, I have a lot more people liking it than saying that they disliked it.
Because it's a different take on Star Wars.
I'm the only one that didn't really enjoy it, but again, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I can see it's a good movie.
Yeah.
So upon watching it, I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good. First episode wise, I really enjoy it. I like that we know that basically Star Wars has whorehouses now. In the beginning of episode 1, there's like, it's like Amsterdam. You see the
Yes,
women
it
on
is.
you see the women on the
Yes,
windows.
it
They're all
is.
like this. I'm like, that's Amsterdam. Like,
Yes, it
yeah.
is.
And then like they're just talking about, oh, I have this girl. I'm like, oh, okay, we're going. This is pretty
We're going straight into
spicy. This
segs.
is some
Yeah.
spicy Star Wars we're getting.
It's crazy in Amsterdam because
Yeah.
I've been to Amsterdam.
Oh, really?
I went actually this year in February.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
For the whorehouses, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, at least you're honest.
No,
Yeah,
dude,
it's
they're
honest.
coming out the
Wanna see
windows
some-
and like, hey, come here.
You want to
come
see some
here.
ladies?
Like, you're from America? Come here.
Oh, American
Yeah.
accent. Hey.
Yeah. No, it's
And get
it's
Euro
crazy.
tripped, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you never want to just go in there. That's how they steal your money and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I totally didn't though. Anyways, moving on, guys.
I mean, you should have that mindset of always just getting in there. So. But yeah, so
Andor.
Andor, watching it thoroughly, I am every episode I'm seeing, I'm getting more and more impressed. I'm like, oh, okay. Like the practical effects, beautiful. Like everything, you can tell it's not a CGI thing. It doesn't even feel like they're in the volume. This feels like these are actual sets.
So, it's very interesting you say that. You've only seen part of the first.
Like
Seemed
first
like 20 minutes.
20, 30 minutes.
So
yeah.
almost to the end of the first episode, right? So you don't mind us spoiling anything?
Nah,
from
it's
this point
fine.
on? Okay. So I will say this. This is a far right turn from what Star Wars is,
Yeah.
because Star Wars is very fantasy, right? And so what I was telling Andy was that Star Wars technically is a Western, right?
Yeah.
Basically, it's a Western. It's filmed like a Western. Bad guy
Yeah.
versus good guy. They finally meet at the end. Giant battle, over and done with. The basics of a Western. Mandalorian is taking that basic concept, exaggerating it times 10, and saying this is as Western as a Western can be.
Yeah, it's
with
showing
a Star Wars skin.
With Andor, it feels very closed, but yet very real.
I hate saying this because it's already on the Disney Plus description, but it is. It's a spy espionage,
Yeah.
genre of a movie. It's got that very secretive vibe. Here's the thing that I've noticed about it, though. What is the one thing that other sci-fi shows do much better than Star Wars? They ground their set design to more realistic aspects of science fiction.
Yeah, because with the Mandalorian, it does that, but then also shows you how wide this world can be.
Exactly.
And that's because of the volume.
Yes.
The volume shows you that it can go far out.
Yeah.
With Andor, it's like you're put in this town, but it's very kind of like closed in, but
Yeah.
yet you feel you can have
There's-
that vibe.
There's a specific bubble with Andor is how it feels.
It's much more fleshed out
Yeah.
Yes.
detail wise. And so that's a problem. It's a good problem to have, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to say this. What I'm about to say is blasphemous, and I could get probably taken down for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways. It's got a very Star Trek-y feel to it. Because
I
what
see what you mean
Star
by that.
Trek
Yeah.
does, right? And we're not talking about the fantasy Star Treks. We're talking about the actual grounded, even Strange New Worlds, which actually builds on that kind of realism, right? It wants you to believe that every aspect of the science fiction world is based on some sort of true scientific theory, right? When you look at the set design for Andor, it's really well built, really well thought of, and it's very dark in its aesthetics, not in the theming, but in its aesthetics. The contrast is a lot more higher.
Yeah.
It's not as saturated, especially when you go into what's the planet that Cassian was born in? Kendari or
Kandarian,
something like
Kendari or something like that. Yeah.
I forget what it is. Can you look it up real quick? for me, Adam?
Yeah.
So that planet, very green, very natural. It doesn't feel like it's a set. It feels like it's real, and it
That's the
probably
thing.
is filmed.
That's what I was saying. I feel like you could grab everything that you see in that scenes and stuff.
Kenari.
Like that.
Kenari,
Yeah.
thank you.
Kenari, thank you.
So, doesn't it remind you of New Predator, the planet?
Actually, yeah.
Right?
That's the thing. It felt like it was a real jungle.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was an artificial jungle or even a made up jungle. It felt like they shot at a jungle.
Yeah. And they're basing these characters to have very true dialogue.
Yeah.
This is a very heavy or dialogue heavy show.
It is. You have to either pay attention to how they are talking to each other because they're not translating what dialogue they're talking in, which kind of is annoying. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, well, you have to read their facial expressions and stuff like that. Pick up on that. And then also just the normal dialogue in general. There's not a lot of action in it. There are some scenes that are like very cool. Like I love Andor's gun. Like his gun is so dope. Like when he reloads, it does like a flip thing, and I'm like, oh, that's
like it like cools down, right?
Yeah.
It like opens its vents up.
So I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And just the sets pieces alone and stuff. I love the little android he was talking to the whole time.
It's another bucket droid that's going to be sold at Disney.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And then he picked up on the blue noodles that one guy was eating.
Yeah,
like, that's going to be at Galaxy's Edge.
100%.
Isn't it?
I don't know. I don't have a pass anymore.
Okay,
So,
I think it might have been,
It's
or
in
it was probably sold.
It's in a like a box,
like a
you
Chinese
would
to-go box.
You would see that at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And you said Andy made a good connection about the people in uniforms.
Yes. So you were out before I said this. So can you actually? Renee couldn't find it.
Which one?
Who are the guys in blue? They're not Imperial soldiers.
Yeah.
No, so we were talking about that. It doesn't seem like it's Republic, the Republic either.
No. So it's like I think what they are is they're a faction that's trying to get on the. It's a faction that's trying to get into the Empire. Like they're trying to be on their good side. Right?
I mean, it felt like that. So I was talking to Renee. I was just like, it doesn't feel like it's Crimson Dawn either. And it feels like the conclusion I came to like watching the first episode is like, this seems like a little like local government to the planet. This isn't anything existing in
like a police, like a small little
in
police,
a sense, you know, because they don't feel like they're bad. Like the first scene where Andor he kills those dudes. And
which is probably it's a great scene.
Yeah, it's really the way they go about it's really really good, but they don't feel like they're. I feel like they would feel if they were Imperial, they'd feel more harsh.
Okay,
it would feel very very harsh.
That's a great point. That's a great point he brings up. The connection that Andy made, by the way, is that their uniforms are blue and orange. And she's like, "Where have I seen this uniform before?" This is the part it is. Where has she seen these uniforms before? And she's just like, I feel like I've seen them somewhere. Star Tours.
Oh, they're blue and orange.
They're blue and orange, but they're not Star Tours. But it makes it seem like it because there's several scenes in episode 3 where they're on that little shuttle, and they're making it seem like they're kind of like doing a Star Tours bit.
Disney also did that in Lightyear, where they had the Tomorrowland colors on.
Yeah. Makes sense. It makes sense. But it's going back to the point that Adam was making, right? Where it's like they don't seem as harsh, right?
Yeah.
That is what Andor does really well. It's that dialogue between characters that makes it and that sells that world. There's a lot of... What do you think of the cinematography?
Oh, there's some shots that I liked and some that were kind of like I felt not bad, but it could have been a little bit better because there were previously good shots before.
So have you noticed that between this, The Mandalorian, and Obi-Wan, the angles to this show are a lot more low and serious, and they're a lot more hidden
and steady,
right? So it wants to sell you on that intensity, on that kind of like tension between two characters when they're talking.
Because I remember one of the big complaints you had were certain episodes for Obi-Wan that the camera shots were very shaky and fast.
Yeah, they try to be action paced when it wasn't action like all the time, right? In this one, you have a lot of characters coming in and they're talking like this. It's like, look, I need you to bring that seller to me like right now. All right, we're gonna meet here. It's very up and close dialogue, meaning that you kind of have to have angles that are very secretive that build tension, and Andor does that really, really well. In terms of these soldiers or this militia, right? They're not as harsh as the Empire because that's what they want you to understand. These people don't know how to infiltrate a city. By the end of episode 3, massive spoiler, by the way, by the end of episode 3, they go out because they finally realize that Cassian Andor was the person that murdered the two people that were working for them, right?
Yeah.
Murdered in cold blood. One of the guys there essentially is taking it upon himself to find this guy because he's trying to avenge his fallen, soldiers, whatever you want to call them, right? Finds them, and they do this. They take over this town, right? The entire time, they don't know what they're doing. They're freaking out. They're causing mass chaos.
Yeah.
They kill a man for just basically approaching. Basically, kind of, and I'm sorry if I'm misinterpreting it, but it is kind of feel like it's this way when a cop is trying to get a hold of a situation, a cop that doesn't know what they're doing, and they just shoot on sight because they're afraid for their life, even though this person wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
That's basically what happens.
No, you're
there.
kind of on the nose there.
Yeah, that's basically what happens here.
That builds to the unsettling part of it, though, is that the person in charge has too much power.
Mm-hmm.
And you're building on that's why he's probably going to join the Rebel Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about Cassian, or are you talking about one of the...
Well, I would assume Cassian.
Cassian is going to...
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, obviously, because he's a rebel, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like you throw this character in these situations, and obviously now, you know, because obviously police brutality being such a big issue.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like obviously they're going to play on those themes.
Oh, yeah, and they're heavily playing on that.
Yeah.
I was telling Andy jokingly, I'm just like, this is basically Insecurity the show.
Yeah, you know what? I was getting that when I was watching it. Like, the whole, like, authority figures on these shows that are really, like, gung-ho on trying to find these, you know, murderers of their own, you know, people.
Yeah.
And then how so that like, they were easily or so hard set they were trying to find a culprit.
Yeah. And making mistakes along the way.
That's the thing. And
It's
you could
messy.
You could tell like the one guy, he's like a tryhard like the whole time.
The guy that was trying to go after the girl that Cassian kept talking to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated him so much.
Him, and then also the one that was in charge or put in charge of the guys that were like the policemen.
Oh, the guy that had his
the white
his
dude.
uniform. Yeah, well, yeah, they're all basically
but like he seems like he's like that manager at like your work where it's like he wants stuff done but doesn't understand how to get stuff done.
he had his uniform tailored.
Yeah.
That guy, yeah.
That guy, yeah.
The one that looks like Gabe from The Office.
Yeah.
That's what Andy said.
Yes. He looks like Gabe's much better looking brother. You know, like that's what. And then like when that one officer dude's like telling him like we need like a leader, you know, someone that could bring us up, and you could just tell he's like this. He's like, yeah, come on, tell me more. You know, he's like enjoying it.
But
like,
here's the thing. You could automatically build on that relationship and know that the guy he brought in to lead this unit to take down Cassian is a weasel. Because there's no way that you look at this tall dude. We'll call him Gabe's older brother. I forget his name, right?
yeah, Gabe's older brother.
Gabe's older brother. So we're gonna say that. You can tell this guy doesn't have a back. This guy basically is just like beyond helpless.
Soft as pudding.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a show.
He's a show.
It's
Yeah.
the presentation he's trying to build.
Well, he has this scene in episode 2 where he yells to the people in the station.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "What are we doing? Get back to work!" And
Yeah.
like starts yelling. Right. In episode 3, he has to deliver a speech right before they land on the planet. It's the most awkward speech possible.
It's basically like Gabe would like
Yeah.
how he tries to like get the office up and going and stuff.
Yeah.
So he goes
Hey
like,
guys,
Yeah.
"Keep going. You're
Yeah.
basically on
He's like,
target."
Yeah.
hey guys, so this is not really productive. So,
Yeah.
if we kinda go
We're
off.
gonna watch each other's backs. We're gonna try not to die.
Yeah.
And remember, we're doing this to avenge our fallen brethren because their deaths were not cool.
And I
And
I also
we're
want you
doing
guys'
a
opinion on
message.
this. Is Hillary Swank hot? like, I felt like there was he just needed a clipboard and just like, is Hillary Swank hot?
And so he brings in this guy who's beneath him, essentially, to kind of help him out, run the units as they're going into the planet. He does this thing where he's like Dwight Schrute, essentially, to this whole operation.
so he's assistant to the regional manager.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like, as soon as the speech is done, he's just like,
yeah.
yeah! You're just kind of like,
Awkward claps.
kicking ass, let's do it! At the end of this, basically they get bamboozled, and like 2 or 3 different officers die throughout this whole process trying to get the one guy, Cassian.
That's another thing too, is that the show emphasizes on death.
It does.
It shows when a person's life is taken, it affects people, which I like. I like how it's not like, oh yeah, when like someone gets shot, they're kind of like walking away. No, they're like you're seeing the side actors reacting to that. They go, no, not Gabe.
On that point, it's interesting because the first death you see is so weird. He dies in the skit that we did for this issue. You know, we play on that fact that the guy basically dies because he got headbutted
Yeah.
really hard, and
But
he basically dies.
It's a nice detail because it's the same introduction we see in Rogue One for Andor, where he kills 2 officers and doesn't bat an eye.
No, because at that part, and that's what I like about it. It's exactly what you're saying, right? The death has a big presence in this.
Yeah.
It's very ominous. there's no hesitation. The officer that's kept alive essentially says, like, look, we can walk away from this. There's no reason I'm going to say anything. I'm not going to do anything.
We
Just
can
let
go
me
in
walk.
together. Yeah.
We can go in together. We can do this. Bam. Kills
Shoots
him
him
in
in
cold
the
blood.
head. Yeah.
Done.
But you could see that he didn't want to do it.
He was debating.
Yeah.
He was debating, but because I'm going to go see this first episode with John and Sarah, the moment he did that, John and I were celebrating. I'm like, you know what? Andor. That's it.
Yeah.
Andor, Poe. And I hold Poe to high standards.
Yeah.
I love Poe. But now I want Andor's jacket.
One more Andor, yeah.
I
I want his gun. I really want his gun.
I want his jacket, dude.
Yeah.
I want his jacket.
His jacket will be available at Galaxy Edge next year.
I hope so.
Coming to
2023.
Disneyland's Galaxy Edge in summer of
Just go ahead
2023.
and go to Zombie's Workshop.
Hey,
2023.
I'm
build-
down. I'm down
Yeah.
for that. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Now going into the not so pleasant details of this, you and I love this show.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna love this show
Pretty sure.
as someone who actually you're Nick's not here. Our resident Star
Oh
Wars
yeah,
nerd's
Nick's not here to do like a 30-minute
I'm filling in.
monologue.
You're filling in
Filling
as
in.
the other resident Star Wars nerd.
The interim Star Wars librarian.
Okay, you sounded like that
Historian.
officer guy right there who couldn't
That's
figure out his
fine.
speech.
I mean,
No, but you're filling in for Nick in this sense, right? So far from what we've told you, does this at all feel like anything Star Wars that you would?
not at all. And I think even from like what the director said, saying this isn't gonna be, there's not gonna be fan service.
And people rioted.
Yeah,
Well,
a
that's
lot
the
of
thing, is that-
TikTokers were upset, which is funny.
The thing is though, is that I mean, I don't want to sound like pretentious, but I hate when fans or people try to find Easter eggs and stuff. When they're looking in the background and they're trying so hard, like, look, guys, that's a nod to like, you know, the Republic, or that's a nod to, you know, Sidious and stuff. Like, I'm happy this doesn't have anything. It's its own separate thing. We can just enjoy it and not try so hard to kind of like find something. Because I feel like that happens a lot in both Marvel movies and just Disney movies in general. Because Disney's notorious for throwing nods
Yeah.
or throwing Easter eggs.
They
And just
like a connected universe.
And everyone just wants to think everything's connected. And it's just, you know, it's just the workers just having a fun time. Like, oh, I'm going to put this like little R2-D2 thing in like a Disney movie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to put...
E.T.'s gonna show up in Revenge of the Sith.
Or we're gonna put a pizza planet like in the back door
Yeah.
of the Mandalorian. We're gonna put that little spaceship right there, you know? You know? And I hate when people just make a big ass deal about it. You know, it's just like, did you see it? I'm like, what? And
I
they
mean,
go,
that's nerd. That's like
Yeah.
normal nerd kind of enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm totally in agreement with you.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a show that's different. So, real
Yeah.
quick, what were we gonna say? That basically this doesn't at all throw you off?
Not at all, especially because the director told us that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, directors always say this, and then it's completely 180 from what they,
Yeah.
what they say. However, maybe season 1 won't be, but Disney obviously is going to do what they want with this show
the thing
because they're
is-
filming season 2 right now.
Yeah.
The thing is that I think by the time season 1 ends, he's gonna be already part of the rebellion
Possibly.
by that time.
He'd have to be because it's only 2 seasons.
So that season 2 will probably be more connected.
Yeah.
But here's where I'm going to get to, okay? It's a breath of fresh air to have a series that's not super, super connected to
Yeah.
the Star Wars franchise. Because for me, it's one of the big reasons I love Rogue One. It's my favorite Star Wars movie. It's the war aspect of Star Wars. We can get that in, episode 3 clearly, right? When the Empire rises, Anakin turns to the dark side and the Empire takes over, the New Republic is gone. We see that war aspect of, right? We also get that in Empire Strikes Back, right? There's a lot of war in these movies, but the realistic, believable war parts came from Rogue One.
Yeah. It was actually
right?
Star Wars.
It was a Star Wars movie.
lived up to
Yeah.
the name.
And now we're getting this, right? We're getting this very cinematically created, very focused, grounded Star Wars story about a character who's basically getting mixed into this whole rebellion crap that he didn't even want to sign up for.
And that's why I think we're finally getting the vibe of how Rogue One was originally supposed to be in Andor now.
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting that because originally the first cut of Rogue One was a darker,
Yeah.
very somber kind of vibe. Like it was like they said that it was supposed to be like storming the gates, the beaches of Normandy, kind of vibe.
I remember that.
And they did it, and Disney was like, "That's too dark.
Yeah.
We can't do it." You know?
So
And still pushed the boundaries in Rogue One on how dark it was.
That's true. They still kept some things, but I felt like, having that moment like it was an actual war would have been great. I probably would have liked the movie for that.
It was a war in the personal characters. We saw them go to war.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, that sounded kind of dumb.
No,
but he's not wrong.
in the replacement of that. That's what I'm saying.
it was
not
their
wrong.
it was their war,
Yeah.
and the interconnectedness was the Saw Gerrera being there.
It was an internal war.
No, yeah.
But even still, like you look at Rogue One, and Rogue One didn't end well for the rebellion. They got the plans. The what is it called?
Their
Death Star. I was like,
But at what cost, Brian?
at what their
cost?
victory came with a loss.
That's why. Yeah, it's supposed to be that ending because even as they're going away,
Yeah.
Darth Vader's Star Destroyer
It's
blasts
like-
in and basically
ends
kills
like-
off half the battalion.
Oh, you mean like he's like standing there in space, like,
Yeah.
it's like, and just air's coming out, making it all cinematic with his lightsaber, like, when he's exposed in space, like he's
He's
just
gonna be
standing
like
there.
Leia.
Yeah, and there's
Oh, I'm
air
sorry, I
still
didn't know-
blowing
I didn't
at
know this
him,
was studio trigger developed, dude.
right?
No, but I completely agree with you in this sense. Now we're running out of time to talk more about Andor because we still got two more topics to talk about. But I really want your opinion on this. Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm going to end by saying this: Andor is filmed way too good for itself.
Yeah.
It's not a good. It's a good thing it looks this way, but it's also not a good thing it's looked this way. It looks this way, and the only reason I say that is because this movie looks I'm saying it's a movie. This show looks like a movie. This show is filmed so well. It could be placed in theaters, and I would believe it's a movie.
I think if you added all the content from this, it would be like a 4-hour movie.
It would be about 4 hours. Yeah. This could
Possibly.
be in a movie theater. It's filmed so well. It looks better than The Mandalorian. I'll be honest, it does. Right?
No, I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I say that it's not.
The sets are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I say that this is both a good thing and a bad thing, we visually get to see this and enjoy the greater aspects of Star Wars and its all glory and beauty, right?
Yeah.
The bad thing is that now this is the bar that we expect from a Star Wars franchise show or whatever you want to call it, right? This is the bar that they're setting themselves.
Yeah.
We understand that this kind of stuff takes a really long time to do. You have to write the stories. You have to, you have to run it. You have to shoot it. You then have to produce everything. You have to edit it. And then you have to rewatch it, do a couple more cuts, then the distribution. We know how Disney works.
Yeah.
Disney wants the money. They want the things to come out. At the end of the day, if this is the kind of show you want, you have to understand that it's going to take time to make.
Yeah.
And they're going to rush things. Things might not look so well for other shows. We could have that problem with shows like Ahsoka. We might. We don't know. Hopefully we don't.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that or not?
Absolutely. I'll say this. Disney in their Star Wars era is good, then bad, then good.
Okay.
Andor's good. So whatever's next,
Ahsoka.
anticipate it to be bad.
Rip.
And that's what sucks.
I'm sorry.
However,
You just pissed off Nick right now.
possibly because let's be honest, nobody was interested in the Book of Boba until Mando showed up.
Mm-hmm.
When did Boba start trending? When we heard the Mandalorian theme at the end of the show.
Renee over here was the one that basically said he didn't care for it until Mando showed up.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. Let's be honest. In season 2 of The Mandalorian, I didn't care about this character of Mando as much because I knew Ahsoka was in it. I knew Bo-Katan Kryze was in it. There were so many characters who were already in it. Then they threw in, hey, let's throw Boba Fett in there.
Mm-hmm.
Disney again, and not saying, this isn't gonna be the case, because Ahsoka, I'm sure, I think Luke's involved with it, and so is Vader.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason why the show should be bad.
Yeah.
But
I feel sorry.
go ahead.
I feel that Ahsoka is gonna be on the same ladder as Mandalorian.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's where it's gonna be. It's not gonna be like Andor, obviously. I'm not putting it as the same category as Andor. I'm putting it in the same category as Mandalorian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you have Dave Filoni and you have John
Favreau,
Favreau connected and doing those shows. And
I'm
stuff
surprised
like that.
Favreau's not doing this one.
Andor?
Yeah.
I feel like he wouldn't need to be part of it, honestly.
It's not his character.
It's not his
Those aren't
partake
yeah.
of his.
It's not his baby.
It's
Yeah.
it's interesting to not see his name, it's also a good thing. Because this show is so much more different.
Was Favreau involved in Obi-Wan?
He oversaw some of it. But
I think Dave Filoni was more involved with it. Yeah.
Oh.
But
because they did Clone Wars. They referenced Clone Wars a lot.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, again, Andor again. So take it with a grain of salt, though, because there's no reason Ahsoka should be bad.
No. That's why same thing. I'm not putting it on the same ladder as Andor, Ahsoka at least, because that's a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
And Andor has a more, like you said, grounded, grittier kind of vibe, while you have Ahsoka, which is on the same tier and same level as Mandalorian, where it's more fantasy kind of vibe, more light, because you have the Jedi, you have the Sith, stuff like that. And that's where I think that's how Ahsoka is going to be, because she's not a Jedi, but she's
very more force connected than what obviously Andor is. What I'll say for season 2, I think it's going to be the complete 180 flip, and that's when we're going to see all the connectedness.
I hope it doesn't lose that cinematic touch, though.
For Andor?
Not. For Andor.
Oh, okay. No, I see what you mean, yeah.
I mean, for them to film it.
I mean, they had a lot of time to kind of do this show.
They're filming early, which could be, it's a good thing, I think.
I've noticed when shows take a while to come out, it's because they're taking their time doing it, polishing it, editing and stuff like that. I mean, look at Maverick. Maverick took like 2 years to come out after it was done because of the pandemic, and all that time they did a great time of filming.
And I think Andor too was affected by the pandemic because we heard about it before.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
also you got to film fast because Diego Luna isn't getting any younger.
That's true.
And this is a prequel too.
I mean, there's Just for Men, so Tom Cruise uses it.
Props to Diego Luna. Great casting.
Yeah.
For Andy and for Cassian Andor. And I will say that I keep mentioning this because I do think it's a great feat for a lot of actors, especially actors that English isn't their first language. He has worked on his English a lot, and his lines, his delivery is so good.
It's more fluid. It's more.
Yeah,
I thought he was good in Rogue One.
He was.
Looking back at it, you see how.
When was the last time you watched Rogue One?
Like a month ago.
I have to rewatch it.
When I rewatched it, I was like, okay, maybe he needed some polishing.
Yeah.
That was also 6 years ago. But I mean, from watching this, obviously it's definitely more polished. He's
got that delivery, which is really good.
Yeah.
Last thoughts on Andor?
I'm definitely invested. I'm gonna check out the whole series as a whole now. Like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna see how many more episodes left. I feel very confident that I can watch the whole thing and then judge it from there.
Cool. All right, ready to move on to the next topic?
Let's go.
Short topic, no more than 10 minutes. It's just fun to talk about because it is kind of like the big thing.
It's interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah. So Grand Theft Auto 6 is, in fact, real.
It's happening.
No, it's not happening.
It's happening.
It's Avatar: The Way of Water. It's the video game version.
The video game that never existed. Because Avatar doesn't
I'm going to
exist.
laugh because we have to watch Avatar 2 because we talk about it so much. We have to review it.
I'm going to hate every second of it.
Yeah.
You're going to love every second of it.
Probably.
I'm going to laugh and you'd be like, you know what? It was okay.
And then
for something that didn't exist, it existed when I was watching it.
It was a good movie to play in my head. What happened? Am I awake?
It's a good movie that I could think about.
I wake up, I was like, oh man, I had the strangest dream that Avatar came out. Grand Theft Auto 6, for those of you guys don't know, is it's a video game from a long franchise that has spanned like years and years and years.
How long has GTA 5 been around?
Since the PS3.
Really?
I was in high school.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in high school.
Can you look up exactly,
you.
please?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to know because I remember my whole life of owning a PlayStation. Grand Theft Auto 5 always came up.
Before you say a date, I have a coworker.
Yeah.
21. Okay. So I tell him, hang on, can I guess the date? I want to guess the date. Hang on.
Okay.
So I tell him, right, because he's 21, plays a lot of Fortnite. I'm like, dude, have you ever stayed up playing video games for like more than 15 hours?
Never.
He's like, no, never. And I'm like, dude, you weren't there for Modern Warfare 2. I know people that were playing Modern Warfare, right, the first one, and they would do like long gaming sessions and stuff like that. I did I did a 15-hour like marathon.
Of
Mountain
online
Dew
or campaign?
online, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Mountain Dew, and Taco Bell. Basically kept me the whole day through, dude. It was so much work. I was sweating at the end, dude. I had a freaking shower because I was just stenching
That
up
was
the place.
me with Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah,
Oh man, I remember when Call of Duty Zombies came out.
was a huge thing.
During the
was the
peak
biggest
of like playing zombies, I would play zombies throughout the summer. I'd be getting off when my mom was getting up to go to work.
Yup. And then you
That's
had to
how
get
you
off.
knew
You had
that was time to get off.
You had to get off before your mom figured
Yeah.
out, because it'd be like, mijo, ¿y la escuela? Mom, sorry.
I didn't
It's the
do. I
weekend.
mean, like, I didn't have like official online play until I got a PS4.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I did dabble in the PS3 era, but I didn't have my own Wi-Fi. I would use my neighbor's Wi-Fi because I live in an apartment complex.
Online play for PlayStation 3 was kind of like
It
Garbo.
sucked. It was not the best, but if you were on it, you appreciated it for what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
You-
fun.
because now if you play it on the PS4, you just like that was so smooth.
Yeah.
It worked.
Keep in mind, I was having these gaming marathons while being in a sport and taking honors classes, and I still somehow made it work.
Yeah.
I think that's why I have so much endurance still.
I've never done a LAN party. I never done that.
Oh, we should do it.
Be fun.
That'd be
Be fun.
It'd be
interesting.
fun for a game. I don't know. We got to figure out a game.
Fall Guys.
I feel like we have a LAN party just for Fall Guys. I mean, hey.
So, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out 2000. It came out for the 360,
Yeah.
Okay.
and this is
Those came out.
hang on. Modern Warfare 2
No,
was
don't
20
tell
was
me.
2010. So this
Modern
came
Warfare
out,
what?
2 came out in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
2009.
GTA 5.
Yes. No, 2010. No, 2000.
Pick a number.
2000, 2009.
Is that your
Okay.
final answer?
That's my final answer.
You were wrong.
September 17th.
Hold up. So GTA 4 came out in 2008.
So then 5 was what?
Let's just say that next year they're releasing GTA 5 for the 10-year anniversary. They're re-releasing it.
Next
Wait, is that
year.
a thing?
No,
No,
but
if
it's probably
they-
gonna
if
be.
they- if
It's
they
probably
did it-
gonna be.
If they did a 10-year anniversary,
So
it'd be next year.
So 5 was
Yeah.
2013?
September
I'm
17th.
back, dude.
2013.
Oh god. Oh, dude, I actually completed the story of 5.
So I got a PS3. When did the PS3 get released?
2012.
2012.
Yeah, that
so
with
I've
the
had
Xbox.
it,
So
so I got it a year later. So I've had the PS3 as
Xbox
long
One.
as the GTA 5.
the PS3?
Is the camera
Yeah.
still running, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The PS3. No, sorry. The PS4 came out in 2012. I think
was
the
gonna say,
PS3
I was
came
like-
out in 2006.
Oh, okay. Because I got it. I think I got my first
Yeah.
PS3 two or three
2006.
two years after it came out.
The
Because
the original.
I got the Slim.
Oh yeah, the Slim. Okay,
I
so the
had the-
fat one was in 2006.
Okay.
That also came with the PS2 memory card slots because the original.
Yeah, you could play
the
PS2
original run
games,
of the
yeah.
PS3 had backwards compatibility.
Yeah. Hayden still has that.
Jesus,
He has the
man.
first
Yeah.
glossy fingerprint magnet PS3.
So GTA 5 has had like 3 or 4 different re-releases
Yeah.
throughout this entire
yeah.
time, and they've
Oh,
been
yeah.
teasing GTA 6 for years at this point. Supposedly, the project never existed until a couple days ago,
Yeah.
where a hacker basically managed to trick one of the Rockstar employees, had access to basically Rockstar's files, and they pulled out alpha footage of Grand Theft Auto 6.
I want to be in that room of talking to that intern or that person that works for Rocksteady. Like, was it a girl that he was talking to? Like, she's like, oh, I'll send you.
Do you know the story or no?
No.
So I keep hearing multiple different things. So according to some YouTubers that have reported the story,
Yeah.
so I got it from TechLink. Linus Tech Tips is news formatted show on YouTube.
Yeah.
Basically, the way they reported it is that it was a third party hacking group. Essentially, I think they were also responsible for another hack that they did with another video game company. I forget which one it was, but they hacked them using software to basically grab information from that employee to access Rockstar files to get that footage.
Wow.
I've also heard that it was one person who was posing as a third party company or whatever that managed to trick the employee into giving him the information. This guy supposedly got caught, and he was located in the UK. Here's the thing. So I was watching the Austin Evans This Is channel, essentially the news format for Austin Evans. He's a tech YouTuber as well. And it's interesting because they bring up this fact, right? That Grand Theft Auto 5 looks so good already as it is. How much better can Grand Theft Auto 6 be?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense for it to look any better than what it is now. right? Because Grand Theft Auto is already scaling up that kind of like effect and that look that it already has. You can only take it up so much right now with the current consoles that we have and the graphics cards that are out there in the market. So, with this footage being released, right? We can't really see it because Rockstar is basically taking down everything immediately. They don't want anything to come out.
Naturally, yeah.
It kind of brings to mind that kind of like, are we excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 to be coming out? Do we even care at this point? Have they waited too long for the game to basically be as hype as it, should have been?
Yeah.
Do you guys even care?
It sounds like
I'm gonna play it.
talking about a
Yeah.
movie too coming out soon. Like,
Yeah.
mirroring
The
the
technology
same
just
thing.
wasn't ready.
Technology wasn't ready. We sat on it for a little while, and we'll hope that it's still relevant when we release it.
So, for me, it's kind of like,
I mean,
it's hard because like, do you have time to play video games at all?
I'm trying to play. I just finished Resident Evil 2, and I want to play Resident Evil 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm excited for Resident Evil 4 when that comes out.
Do you have time to play video games?
No.
I don't.
No.
I haven't picked up a
Yeah.
video game in almost like a month and a half.
Like, you never kind of started a video game and just like, I gotta finish it now.
I've
Once
tried.
you started, and that's
I've
it.
tried, but with the wedding planning, with
Yeah.
this,
Oh, that's-
with
yeah.
work, with school,
Yeah.
I barely have enough time.
Mhm.
I get exhausted, and I just don't have that energy to sit down in front of my Xbox or my PC to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the problem, is that Rockstar right now doesn't have a formula that is compatible with people like me.
Mhm.
I can't sit down and play that game, especially with how poor Grand Theft Auto 5's online connection was at the
Yeah.
beginning. It didn't work.
Still not the best.
It's still not the best.
Yeah.
And Red Dead Online also wasn't good either. They
Yeah.
kind of dropped that immediately as soon as it came out. So
I feel like Grand Theft Auto is more. You get more of a good play in when you play on the PC because you can play with mods and stuff like that.
yeah,
I
but
think. Sorry.
no, go on.
I think in terms of, I think also too the people who are going to be playing, who would have played GTA 6, they're grown up now.
That's true.
That generation.
84
I do
years.
remember a lot of teenagers when that came out. Like
We were teenagers.
No,
Yeah.
I graduated in 2011.
They're not.
Okay, we were young adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I didn't care for GTA. Like, I was
But
like,
still.
I was like, I want to play Uncharted.
Even if you played the originals growing up,
Mhm.
Vice City, San Andreas, you're probably not going to be. You'll probably pick it up.
It's the return to Vice City. So I think there's a lot of nostalgia to go back, which is Miami for those that don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
they doing that?
Yeah,
Is that GTA 6?
Yeah, it's the return to Vice.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
I
thing.
might
like-
like
That's
you
the
said.
selling point.
Yeah, like Adam said, there's an interest to go pick this up and play it. But the thing is that those campaigns are hours and hours and hours
Yeah.
long.
I feel like PlayStation or gaming studios are now picking up on the whole nostalgic thing.
That's all they have. Modern
because-
Warfare 2's release is based on the fact that they're returning big maps from Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, Capcom right
yeah.
now is anything they redo, like Street Fighter,
Yeah.
Resident Evil, that
Yeah.
any nostalgic.
Mega Man Legacy Collection
yeah.
again, so they're doing that. So
Yeah.
it's all nostalgia
Like
based.
Nintendo's notorious for doing that as well too. Yeah,
Big games that are coming out, Legend of Zelda and Pikmin 4.
yeah.
That's it.
They're catching in that they know that they can't reach a wider audience than what they already have.
Exactly.
So why not have someone pay for a game that we're gonna re-release or polish it up,
Exactly.
like Last of Us. Like they finally did the remastered for the PS5 for Last of Us to go up against the Last of Us Part 2. Because if you look at the graphics are completely different and stuff like that.
It's.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. I think just the overall generation of gamers it's gone.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate to say. Mainstream gaming, because the games that are being played aren't being talked about. Games like Elden Ring,
No.
For Honor.
It's not in our community. It's not in our community. That's the thing, is that the community's still there.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the thing, is even though we don't play video games as much, the community still exists for Elden Ring. The community still exists for Ghost of Tsushima.
But you
the
got
hardcore.
money. You have the money to pay for that.
Exactly. So
Because-
those people do, and they
yeah.
find the time to play those games.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like, it just sucks. I don't know. I feel like it's a more of a personal complaint at this point, where
Yeah.
we're just arguing that we just don't have the time ourselves personally
Yeah.
to play it. And it
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to a point where in our lives where we do have that time to play it. It brings back a lot of
mean,
like nostalgic
I'm-
memories.
yeah.
I'm
talk
lucky
about
enough that when I tell Mandy, because we don't live together, but when I tell Maddie like, "Oh, I'm gonna play a video game," is that okay? She goes, "Yeah, no problem." She understands. You know, she'd be like, "I'll give you like an hour, you know, or just call me when you get." Because she knows
You
I
have
won't.
60 minutes, Renee. And if you call
clock.
it 61,
She knows if I keep. I don't play for long durations.
Yeah.
Because again, I told you why I haven't beaten the Ninth Sister in Fallen Order, because I keep getting like
that's a
frustrated.
hard level,
It
though.
is.
That's the thing.
But
That
the
level's
thing-
hard.
The thing is that I get so frustrated, I need to take a break.
Yeah.
But to the point where I know I'm like, okay, if I keep playing, I'm just gonna die and die and die.
So the last, oh man, I don't remember the last game I played, but like when I finish a game the whole way through, like for me, one of the most memorable games that I finished was Ace Combat 7. I'm just a huge, whenever Ace Combat comes into play, I love it and I really indulge into that. The last mission in Ace Combat 7 is basically you have to go underground of the space elevator that they're building, and you have to fly through a tunnel, essentially. Like it's a super compact tunnel, and then when you manage to blow it up, you have to escape the sky elevator by flying straight up into the stratosphere. And it's such an intense moment, and I remember that because at the end of it I was like in tears. I was like, dude, this is such a cinematic masterpiece. Oh my god. Ace Combat 5 also, I was a kid when I was playing that. The thing was dope on PlayStation 2. Point being, this leak is interesting. It finally confirms that the game is real, and I'm hoping that Rockstar doesn't jump the gun, because rumor has it that they're going to be revealing this game sometime next month. I hope they don't jump the gun and say like, it's real, guys, here's some footage, when the footage doesn't even matter at that point.
That's the leak. I feel like the leak feels responsible for the wanting to present something next month.
They could use that as a kind of like
a ploy, almost like, oh yeah, I mean, we were gonna release something next month. Here it is a month before.
Yeah.
Who for those who saw it, if you didn't, you gotta wait until next month.
Who did that recently, where they like dropped a game? It was like supposedly leaked, and then they just came out like afterwards. They were just kind of like, yeah, it's happening.
I don't remember specifically for a game, but I remember the Age of Ultron leaked like hours before or the day before, and then Marvel handled like, oh damn it, Hydra.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was like they played it off because it got so much publicity of how much it was being talked about.
Yeah.
It's I mean, yeah, because obviously I would love to play GTA 6, but realistically, I'm not gonna like grind it the way I grinded out GTA 5.
Straight up Mountain Dew, monsters and everything.
No,
sugar.
yeah, exactly. You know, I had a resurgence of playing GTA 5 in the pandemic. Me and my buddies were on that for all night, just doing heist. Going to Simeon's.
I don't understand how people had time in the pandemic. I still didn't have time in the pandemic. I was working a full-time job still, but I was like,
to play video games?
Yeah.
Oh no,
So-
I didn't have a console, so
Yeah, yeah, your PlayStation was dead.
The field me and my buddies were in were virtual, so we worked maybe an hour a day.
See, that's what I didn't have.
Yeah,
Man,
so
I was so sad of not having a console during the pandemic. I was like, like,
during the pandemic, I worked an hour a day, and when I completed that hour, I was done.
You still got paid for your full 8?
Oh, full 6.
Full 6.
Yeah, full 6. Yeah, the only thing I did lose out on was gas money, because I had a driving job, so we got reimbursement. So I lost a third of my check, but for sitting at home for 1 hour, I was making good money.
There you go.
You know, and we were playing GTA, dude. And I remember me and my buddy went out to go get food, and he dressed like his GTA character.
Oh my god,
it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do, is like dress up like someone in GTA, you know?
Well, because it was like a black shirt and just like green pants and white shoes. And so like I was like, wait a minute. It was funny because it was a good time.
All right.
What are you looking for, Renee?
I'm just going through your stuff.
Let's go ahead and talk about She-Hulk.
Yes.
Let's do She-Hulk watch. Have you been watching She-Hulk?
Yes, I have.
Okay, cool. So you've caught up on this last episode, right?
Oh, yeah.
We got about 15 minutes to talk about She-Hulk.
Hey.
Let's go ahead and talk about She-Hulk. Let's talk about how this episode is probably the most unique one out of the entire
I would
series so
say
far.
it's a fluff.
Ooh, okay. So
It's not bad.
It's not bad. So, long story short, she says it at the beginning. Jen Walters essentially says, spoiler if you haven't seen She-Hulk, okay? This last episode. She starts off the episode by saying, it's going to be a wedding episode.
Yeah.
They straight up admit this is a fluff.
Yeah.
That's nothing important to the story.
Which is
Just
why
goes into it.
I respect it as well. They blatantly tell you, yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. We're just going to put She-Hulk in a wedding.
So, let's go ahead and talk about the aspects of this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, what popped up for us individually, okay? Mine is short and simple.
Yeah.
This episode for me confirmed that every character in the show is just an exaggerated, annoying person. That's what I noticed. Tatiana is basically Ariana Grande times 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen's friend from high school, the one that's getting married, is just the drunk, annoying party girl times 10.
Yeah.
Everyone is just exaggerated to a degree that it's kind of like, dude, do people really behave this way?
Yes.
They do, not to this extreme.
It's over exaggerated.
It's over exaggerated.
Yeah.
That's mine. You got anything?
Just that I was not. You know what? It's funny because I remember when they showed us last week Daredevil's helmet. I was kind of thinking on the fact that like they're probably not going to show us Daredevil next episode, and they did that. And I was like, okay, well maybe next episode we'll have a funny nod to a character or a scenario in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Still nothing. So that's why like this episode, it's not the greatest episode, but again, I love how they addressed in the beginning, like you said, that it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to move forward. We're just kind of like we're going to be at a stalemate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to progress, but we're just going to put She-Hulk in a scenario.
Yeah.
Which is we're just gonna have her attend a wedding.
Yeah.
That's it. Which is fine.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, I would have liked it if they had more humor, like actual like comedy bits. Like
Okay.
Little bits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
I think they tried to do that with Mr. Immortal.
Oh yeah. You know what? That was actually funny.
Yeah.
I did like his way out was just a jump out of the building. You know, whenever women are yelling and arguing, he's like,
I'm just gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
Mr. Immortal. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
I feel like they knew what they were doing in the placement of this episode. They knew it was going to trigger everybody. They're like, hey, we're going to show you Daredevil's helmet. And then here's nothing. And then I think next week, because now we're more than halfway through this show.
3 episodes left.
I feel like they're all going to have Charlie Cox.
So it is a fluff. It is a fluff episode, right? But there is one thing that did or was showcased in this episode. And it's a very important line, I think, for Jen's character, which is that she drunkenly said, "My life is good."
Oh yeah.
My life is good.
Yeah.
Because right now, in the last couple of episodes, we haven't seen Jen accept who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still haven't seen her grow. Like, okay, she hasn't mentioned that she's the head of a department for one of the biggest firms in the world.
Yeah.
Right? We haven't seen her say anything positive about being a Hulk.
We haven't seen her satisfied with her life.
Exactly. We haven't even seen her confident in the fact that she is a single woman who basically has attractive features but can't land anyone. Right? And so in this episode, we get that through the guy, I think his name's Josh or something like that, right? That she admits it drunkenly. She's like, she wants me to act like my life isn't good. But here's the thing. My life is great.
Yeah. It was the first time too, because like she shows up at the wedding and she's super confident with herself, and then her friend, the bride, tells her you're being too like you're making it all about
Hulky.
you.
So
Yeah.
Andy jokingly goes just like,
Did she get
"Oh
triggered?
Yeah, she's just like, why is she such a bride? And I look at her and I'm like, this wouldn't be you. This isn't gonna be you in like a couple months.
I mean, does she not act like that lately?
No, she hasn't. Thankfully, she hasn't. But like, you
At his face.
Shots fired?
No, she hasn't. She hasn't acted like that. But it's interesting because like you do again. There are people like that.
Yeah.
No,
But
there
it's
is.
an exaggerated times 10.
There's people that we might know.
Exactly.
That might
I
act
feel like
that.
that reaction though, as like, oh, you're attracting too much attention. I feel like that's the only one that was actually like, okay, I feel like that's on the right amount of level.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
That's the only one
That's
that
fair.
felt like, yeah,
But her character persona, like
it was over the top. It was
Exactly.
overflowing.
You know what I found funny too when she's like hugging her and she goes like this and her boobs like either on her head. She's all, I'm like,
Yeah.
what was
But
that?
did
Was
you-
that a good boob or something?
No. Did you notice the change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at first, when she hugs her when she's sober, right?
Yeah.
She's like a little bit awkward because her boobs were in her face.
Yeah.
But then at the end, when she's drunk, she's like basically motorboating
Yeah, and
them.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
yeah, look, it's a good boob, right? And I was like, it probably is. I'm thinking in my head.
All right.
Very firm,
Right?
very strong.
There we go. There's another mark. We're getting taken off the air.
But that's it. It's that one feature that was
Yeah.
brought out in this episode specifically is that Jen is now starting to enjoy
Yeah.
her life as a Hulk. With that said, that satisfaction usually doesn't last that long,
Yeah.
especially for, our heroes in any show or any comic book. Because at the end of the episode,
I was watching it late at night, and I nodded in and out. How did Tatiana get to the wedding?
She got invited.
She got invited?
Yeah.
Who invited her?
She was invited by a date. She was Yeah.
she weaseled her way in to basically publicly humiliate her, which didn't really make that much sense because at the end of the day, she was the one humiliated because
That's the thing. Oh, because her teeth,
her veneers.
Her veneers came out. Yeah.
Well,
So-
that was the plot of the story. That's
But so, what was the point of trying to Hulk her out? Why can't she just take her out?
that. Yeah, I get what you mean now because she already had kicked her, already beaten her in like the first episode.
Exactly. It's like, do
So-
you want to get beaten again or something? And
Yeah.
at the end of it, when she couldn't beat her and publicly humiliate her, she trips on ice and cracks her veneers.
Yeah, I
True.
think she's supposed to be like the overarching villain, and they don't know what to do with her.
It's like a doofenshmirtz.
I mean that's the thing.
Which
Yeah.
is fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
A platypus.
Jen Walters. Oh my God, it's She-Hulk.
One thing I did like is how Jen Walters is like, of course I'm gonna show up to the wedding as She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna finally embrace it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
she gets confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that, the end of the episode shows basically, I think it's kind of alluding that Josh is secretly trying to trick her so that this group can basically take her blood.
Yeah. Seems
Yeah.
like it.
I don't know, maybe
'Cause
that
someone
was the
wants
thing.
to take her a sample of her blood
Yeah.
because, like we said, it has healing factors in it that is very universal.
Yeah.
That it helped Bruce out very well, and that anyone else they could do a lot with it. They can either replicate it or they can use it for something else.
Yes.
Something bad.
So I'm probably not going to like the next episode because that needle was
A little
Gross.
thick. It was a little
thick.
Little thick.
I was like, nope.
I mean, it's
Close my eyes for this one.
got to penetrate some Hulk skin.
I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't even like. No, I'm not gonna think about it. Let me think about something else. So
It was like this thick.
stop. Please don't. Stop. So I will say that. Stop. I will say that the other aspect that I liked about this episode was that it finally gave us that very sexy, confident She-Hulk, which I think was missing, and I didn't realize how much of it was missing
Well,
in the
it would
show.
be a 180 if she did it right on the spot
Exactly,
as
but
she was turning.
but it's interesting because you don't, at least for me,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was missed that much.
Yeah.
Because now that she's confident, she's walking around that dress and she's showing off her body and everything. I'm like that. I'm like, yeah.
It like unlocked something in you, right?
Well, sure, but
Yeah.
the other
Your
part
search
is-
history changed a bit after that episode. I mean, it did for me.
Suddenly there was a tent pitched.
No, but what I meant was like, you know how in the comic book she's written to aesthetically fit that demeanor, like
Yeah.
she's that sexy, flirty Hulk. We get that in the show.
No, we get that. Yeah.
Which is really cool. Like we get to see that, and she's finally embracing it. For me, the happy part is that Jen is finally accepting who she is. She's still got to work on a lot of different things,
Yeah.
but I do hope that they bring that into that next episode, and that we don't kind of push on that fact anymore. She's happy.
Stop
let her
dwelling
be.
on it, yeah.
Exactly. Now work on the Hulk aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Now we get to see her be a superhero, I think.
Basically, yeah. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this issue?
I hope. I mean, I don't want to sound like a total Marvel fanboy. I hope we get to see Daredevil in the next episode. You know, that'd be cool. I wish.
It'll be all
But
right.
we'll see. We'll see.
I think at this point there's 3 episodes left. The show isn't doing well. They need the ratings because it's at 38% for an audience score.
But but the audience. That's the thing about these stupid audience scores is that I look at this show.
Are you
I
saying like
don't
the
see a
haters will
problem with
stop
it.
watching it now?
I
Like-
think it's the whole. It's the whole. I feel like it's. Marvel has had a really hard time pleasing on the women superhero aspect of things, for whatever reason. It doesn't make any sense
I
because
don't know
you've
why
had
it becomes like for certain
issue,
things,
right?
It becomes a real issue, which
yeah,
is weird.
like, because like you've had fleshed out characters like
Yeah.
Black Widow, obviously, and even
Scarlet
Yelena,
Witch.
who are properly fleshed out, and Hawkeye is being fleshed out,
Mm-hmm.
and even Wanda, and even Miss Marvel, who felt properly fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's like since Captain Marvel, there's been this like domino effect of every superhero woman that comes in is an issue. Doesn't make any sense.
Like, apparently we have to critique that.
Yeah.
So it's this aspect of comic book readers that they don't want to admit that what they read can translate to movies or film or TV shows, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't translate well. Here's the thing. People that complain about tits on screen are the same people that will buy those same tits in comic books.
Yeah.
There is no reason why your complaint should be the sexualization of She-Hulk in this show is annoying when it happens in the books and you're okay with that there. Now, here's the other thing. Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, they're both getting bad audience score reviews, right?
Yeah.
I will say that I'm enjoying She-Hulk more than I'm enjoying Miss Marvel. Even though Miss Marvel was good, it was on a separate tier.
Yeah.
The thing is that Miss Marvel was generic. It had a long-running story, and there was nothing special in between every episode. This show has something special in between every episode.
Yeah.
It's unique and it's different. Even this fluff episode was okay.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. It was okay.
Yeah.
Right?
It was.
There's
more-
been a lot worse.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
As of like shows or even just Stevie standards in general, when you have an episode like that, I feel like, you either have to have a good character growth, which they did, or just tell a good story. If you're going to do a fluff episode, that's not going to progress the narrative at all. At least, I mean, anime does that all the time, but at least certain episodes are really good because you get a good story.
Exactly.
This one had a good story,
The-
and character growth.
The problem I see with this show is that it's not relatable to the group of people that are highly invested in Marvel, which I understand.
Yeah.
Right? You want to aim your big stuff to the people that are willing to spend the money on you, right? Because this group of people, right? It's the same thing that kind of happens with video games. Like, why are publishing companies or developing companies like working on super easy walkthroughs for people that are complaining about, identification or representation in certain video games when they don't even pick up the video games themselves? They want to be represented in a game that they don't play. It's this long-running, discussion, argument, debate, whatever you want to call it, that has existed over years. The same argument is present here in She-Hulk. It's not aimed towards me. I don't like it. I don't care. But you have the smaller group of people that can relate to this, who have watched the Marvel shows. My fiance is one of those.
Yeah.
She's a clear example of it. She's seen Iron Man all the way up to now. She is a dedicated, decade-long, fan of the MCU. She watches the show and her face brightens up because she can relate to Jen Walters. She can relate to She-Hulk, and she can relate to the situations, which is good. Unless I hear a good argument, I don't buy this, that people don't like the show. I need a good argument.
Yeah.
You need a valid point.
Yeah. Because a lot of the criticisms that this one got is that there was no Daredevil. It's like, that's not a legitimate argument because it's like, how are you going to critique an episode not being good? Because it didn't have because it didn't have a character.
Yeah.
Let's say Daredevil was in this episode. Where does his arc make sense in this episode? Nowhere. So there's no way to say this episode is bad. This specific episode.
I would have been mad if they did put Daredevil in here just as like, oh yeah, it was a Jen's date to the wedding. And I'm like, well, why specifically Matt?
What makes him so special?
Yeah, why would Matt be in LA? You didn't explain why he was in LA, and you didn't explain how they met.
Exactly.
Or if they know each other. See, again, it's hard to put in that character in this episode.
Unless you would have introduced him earlier in the show, which obviously they're not doing. They've only let us know that he's got a new designer, at least in LA, who's designing his suits. That's it.
You put Daredevil too early into the show, it becomes about him and not
absolutely.
Jen Walters.
That's the
Absolutely.
thing. Yeah, then you have a real outbreak of fans just like,
It's funny.
like, oh yeah, you told me Daredevil was in the first episode, and like we see him, but nothing happens to him ever since. Like, how come we're not getting more Daredevil and stuff? So you have fans complaining that they're not getting enough.
Absolutely.
Of the
It was
character.
funny because Soups recently came out and said the worst thing that Marvel did was announce that Daredevil was in this show. And people were like dragging him for it because of the fact it's like, dude, you've made your content solely off of Marvel big moments. Like, you're the people who would have been upset.
Soups is a TikToker,
Yeah.
a comic book TikToker on TikTok.
That's all I'm going to say. I have my own opinion about him, but
You don't like him?
No,
I
he
don't.
just,
It's not that I don't care for the content he makes.
So if the
Yeah.
content he
Oh,
makes,
like a Straw Hat, whatever.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I respect Straw Hat now because he's more of like he's aware that fans see him for how he is, and I respect that his content, because he puts it out himself. He's not asked by anyone to do it. He's not forced to do it. He puts out his own opinion.
Yeah.
Which I give him respect for that. Soups though solely plays on the fact that I'm going to talk about this big moment and put in my opinion about it, which even it's going to be one of those ridiculous fan theories that he puts out there. And if he's not right, he gets pissed off for it. He starts critiquing because his own theories didn't come true. That's what he did for Endgame, and that's what he did for Multiverse of Madness.
He did that for Kenobi.
Oh,
too.
Kenobi, that's what it was.
He got
should
dragged for Kenobi.
You should listen to Keeping Up with the Nerds because we're like 99% right. Like,
Yeah.
all the time.
For the Soups thing, all I'm gonna say is he also puts out like all theories that have been debunked, and it's like some of the
To end
Yeah.
on this last note, right? Because this is potentially an argument that can come out. If we're playing on this fact that, She-Hulk isn't interesting because it doesn't have Daredevil, there could be the argument that the same thing could have been said with Boba Fett. Boba Fett was not interesting until you brought in The Mandalorian.
Which
Exactly. So why is that true there, but not true here?
because the story of Boba Fett wasn't great.
Yeah.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
The story of Boba Fett was flat. Robert
Fett-
Rodriguez. It's flat.
Hey, he's working on a new Spy Kids movie.
That's not.
And that's what he should stick to.
That's
No
not
offense.
good.
No
The
offense.
last few Spy Kids movies weren't great.
I know, but still, look.
3D,
let the
game
man-
over.
Dude, it had freaking Frodo. What more do you want
Yeah.
from it? What more do you want from a movie?
Hey,
Not
dude,
even Junie likes Game Over. He said that on TikTok.
I know he did.
what?
Yeah. He
Look,
doesn't
let's
like...
just get Spy Kids Escape from Dream Island or whatever it is.
Spy Kids Escape Room.
Spy Kids Strikes Back. But what were you saying? So,
I think, no, 100%. I'm going to piggyback off of Renee.
Yeah.
I don't think Boba Fett is a standalone character.
no.
He's good to support. He's not good to lead.
That and you've had the way that season 2 of Mandalorian ended had both Disney and Lucas films really worried of the future of Mandalorian. You write off Baby Yoda, you write off your cash gab, and then you're like, okay, how do we
No, that's true, though.
how do we bring back so we can keep making fans can come back and watch it?
How do we make money?
How do we make more money?
How do we
even though
keep
Baby Yoda's
selling
not going
this
to be in
little
it?
plushy
Because
doll?
because honestly, when you see Baby Yoda right off with Luke, do you ever expect we're going to see Baby Yoda again?
Absolutely
I wish
not.
we didn't.
Absolutely not.
I wish we never saw that little dude again.
But Disney or Lucas was like, no, we can't. We
hope
need to bring him
someone
back.
at Disney kills him off.
And
Nobody's
the
gonna.
thing is though, is
I
that
would.
you're not going to have fans excited to
Disney
go
wouldn't
see.
let you.
You're not going to have fans excited to see Baby Yoda again in season 3 of Mandalorian.
You know how we
because-
bring him back?
Huh.
Force ghost him.
Force Ghost. Hey, little guy.
No, I get you.
Yeah, it's the thing. And
Yeah.
so then they had to kind of like piggyback off of Book of Boba Fett
Yeah.
and just be like, okay, we gotta bring back hope to
Yeah.
the fans and stuff. So you write this little arc of Mando, like 3 episodes just solely about Mando
Yeah.
and Baby Yoda. We never see anything about Boba Fett at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not even like the whole thing when he's on like taking care of business. It's just like a stalemate.
Yeah.
Right there. We pause and we keep going.
Guys, hold up. We gotta focus on this story real quick.
Yeah.
Just give us like a couple days.
Boba, you got 30 seconds. The last 30 seconds of the episode.
Yeah. It's not even Boba, it's Finnick that
That's
comes
right.
in.
Oh,
Finnick's
yeah.
like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Boba has a proposition for you and stuff or something
Yeah.
like
That's
that.
right.
And then the last episode they're like, it's cool. It's again, Robert Rodriguez. I don't blame him fully, but I feel like he's more of like, oh, I'm all for like making it look cool and action scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Story wise,
I think-
I'm just gonna be okay. Story wise, we're just gonna grab these toys and just put them in there.
Yeah. I think
Explosion there. Explosion there.
Yeah.
I think She-Hulk did it right because they gave us the known character right at the beginning
Yeah.
in Hulk, and
Yeah.
they wrote him off quickly.
Yeah.
And they've allowed Jennifer Walters to develop.
And we bring in another character. We bring in Wong for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
We bring in another fan favorite, like people already recognize and can
Here
resonate with.
is the interesting fan favorite characters that you all know, but they're not going to be the crutch for Jen Walters' development.
They
They're
can't
just
be.
there.
Yeah, there's
Because
no
they're not on that level.
there's no like Wong episode in
No.
She-Hulk. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna see what Wong's doing this whole entire episode, and then have She-Hulk in at the end of it. In the
It's
beginning.
interesting you say it that way because Jen was the one helping out. Bruce was helping Jen get used to the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she ended up kind of helping out Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jen was the one helping out Wong with his dilemma about magic use and stuff
That's the
like that.
thing, yeah.
And Abomination. I like that. Okay.
See, now you see as a
Yeah.
show, you're kind of like, okay, they're doing a smart way of getting you into this character.
Yes. I
By
agree with
bringing in these characters that you already recognize and you've already seen, and we're just seeing like the back and forth kind of.
Yeah.
I love the dialogue between Wong and Jen. You know, I love seeing Bruce and Jen talk.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I'm excited. After the show ends, I'm excited to see her expand more in the cinematic universe. Like, I want to see her talk to Miss Marvel. I want to see her talk to Moon Knight, or I want to see her talk to like Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I feel like she'll integrate very well into this universe.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to wrap up the show because
Yeah.
we're already hitting that hour 35 now.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get Madison back, Madison with the Y, but it's not
What do you
her.
think? Hey, Wonger.
I want to see her in Doctor Strange 3. I want to see Strange react to Madison.
She's the Doctor Strange.
Wongers, you didn't tell me that this is
Your
Doctor
friend.
Strange's friend. So what do you like to
He's
drink?
not as hot as he looks in photos.
Yeah.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here at Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 116. Just a reminder, you guys can check us out on our website at keepingupwiththenerds.com. Find us on YouTube at Keeping Up with the Nerds for the visual portion of this podcast. If Adam's phone worked correctly,
It did.
then you should be able to see me. My
Worked
phone
correctly.
always works,
After some editing.
so you guys will see them. Check us out on YouTube. Follow us. Go subscribe. Click that notification button. Follow us on our socials as well. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Our Real Addiction, also on Keeping Up with the Nerds' YouTube channel. And you guys have your own podcast that also goes up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Google Podcasts, anywhere you can get a podcast.
Go rate them 5 stars, as well as us. You guys can find us on any of those audio platforms as well. And follow our Real Addiction socials as well.
You have really quick, you guys have no idea how much liking and sharing actually does for us. It helps. It gets it out, pushed out more into further demographics.
We got a big November plan for you guys, so
Oh, that's right.
yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Gotta start playing that.
Let's wrap this up.
All right.
Renee, take us away.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 116. My name is Renee.
This is Brian.
I'm Nick.
And signing off from Undercity Comics. We'll see you all next time.